All right, so we are looking over our answers for the volume and surface area review. So if you had questions about the answer key, I'm going to show you how to do some of these questions, okay? So the first one we're going to look at, we're not really going to look at number 1 because that's a rectangular prism, so hopefully we should know how to do that. So we're going to look at the second one, which this is a square-based pyramid. All right, so in case we were not sure what it is, it's a square-based pyramid. All right. Now, there's a reason why I'm calling it a square-based pyramid and not just a pyramid, and it all has to do with the base. So the base is, it's the flat part of this figure that kind of anchors it to the bottom. The base of every figure isn't always on the bottom of the figure, but when it comes to pyramids, when we see them, the base is going to be on the bottom. Okay, so think about it like the floor of the pyramid. Okay, and this shape is, even though it might not look like a square in our picture, it's showing the three-dimensional version of it. It's giving it some depth there. It really is a square because it's 28 meters by 28 meters. So 28 meters long, 28 meters wide. Right? In order to answer this question, we need to know the area of this base, okay? Because it's going to be in the formula for both volume and surface area. I like to rewrite my formulas before I plug anything in, so let's find our formula on our formula sheet. There it is. There's our pyramid. The formula for volume is 1/3 capital B times H. So let's write that. 1/3 capital B H. What in the world does capital B mean? Well, let's say I'm on the SOL test and I don't remember what it means. Look at your abbreviations on your formula sheet. It means area of the base. So what shape did we say this base is? It's a square. So we need to find the area of a square. How do I find the area of a square? Look on my formula sheet. There's my square. Area is side squared. Okay? So let's go ahead and find the area of the base for this. It's side squared, or in our case, it's 28 squared. So base is 28 squared. And we'll find that, and we'll write our answer in terms of units. 28 squared. So our base is 784 meters squared, or square meters. Okay? So that's going to be really important. That's what we're going to plug in to capital B in our volume formula. And it also will come into play in our surface area formula. So the next thing we need to know is what's the height? How tall is this pyramid? How tall is it? Now we might assume that the height of the pyramid is 22.1, but that's referring to this kind of slanted height right there. In fact, that is the slant height. That's what we're going to call L. We'll use that for surface area. We have to actually find the height of this pyramid. So here's what we're going to do. The height is the vertical distance from the base up to the top of the pyramid. So we can kind of draw this vertical line coming down, and we need to figure out what it is. So imagine that we are connecting a right triangle that's anchored at the center of the base, goes up to the top of the pyramid, and then down the side. Now I'm going to draw this as a two-dimensional version to, so I can visualize this a little bit better. But if I'm looking at this right triangle, right, where this is the center of the pyramid, the slant height, that's our hypotenuse. That's our 22.1. We're looking for how tall it is. That's our height, or we could say H or X. And then what can we say is this leg? It's going to go in the middle of the base, so it's going to be half of the width of the base. So half of 28, or 14. Now that we have this set up, we can use the Pythagorean theorem to find x. So we'll do our x squared plus 14 squared equals 22.1 squared, and follow through with Pythagorean theorem, and let's see what we get. So we're going to end up getting that the height, or x, is 17.1. So this is the height of our pyramid. So our height is 17.1. in previous years when you've seen this figure, maybe in 7th grade or 6th grade, they've given you the height, but now that we're in geometry, we use what we know to find it. So that's why they didn't give it to us. We got to get a little bit of a challenge. All right, so we've got volume is 1/3. The area of the base we said was 784. The height of the pyramid is 17.1. And we can multiply those all together to get our volume. And remember, we're going to express our volume in terms of units cubed, or cubic units. So we should get that volume is 4,468.8 meters cubed, or cubic meters. So you might see it written like cubic meters. All right, so that's how we find volume. Let's look at how we find surface area. So I go to my formula sheet, find my surface area formula. All right, and we've got this. Surface area equals 1/2 LP plus B. Okay, so we've said that B is the area of the base. We've already figured that out, so that's nice. We don't have to do anything for that. P means the perimeter. When I say perimeter, I mean perimeter of the base. It does have P on your formula sheet, but it just says perimeter. A lot of times with three-dimensional figures, though, it might be referring to perimeter of the base. So that's just something to keep in mind. It doesn't say that specifically like how it says area of the base for B. So our base is a square. I like to highlight around the base to see, okay, it's got 4 sides. They're all 28 meters. So the perimeter is just going to be 28 times 4. Okay, so let's find the perimeter. Perimeter is 28 times 4. So perimeter is going to be 112 meters. The next letter is L. What does L stand for? L is slant height. Okay. And this is something that's not on your formula sheet. I think the reason why they do this is because if you have this formula, surface area, and it's for this figure, you can look at the figure and see, oh, L is just this slanted height. It's as if I'm skiing down the side of that slope, and that's the route that I'm going. Okay, so it will be labeled on the figure, just not in words. All right, so slant height is 22.1. So let's plug in what we know to the formula. Surface area is 1/2 22.1 times the perimeter of 112 plus the base of 784. Okay, let's do some math. Plug in our calculator. Going to get that surface area is a total of 2,021.6. Now surface area, this is going to be units squared, square units, because it's like we're wrapping a present. It's like how many, how we're going to cover the present, not how we're filling up something. So it's square units, unlike volume, which is cubic. Excellent. All right, let's move on to the last one on this page. Yep, let's do this one. So this one, it's not a pyramid because it doesn't meet at a single point. It is a triangular prism. So the figure that we're looking at is this one. This is a triangular prism. All right, so we've got a volume, which is B times H, or area of the base times height. And then surface area is HP plus 2B. HP plus 2B. So let's talk about area of the base. So the base is not always the bottom of a triangular prism. The base, let's see, so a base for this one, it has a parallel base to it. Okay, so in this case, the base isn't necessarily at the bottom, it's the triangle that has a parallel triangle to it. Okay, So we could consider either this front one the base or this back one the base. Okay, but they're connected by this distance, which is considered the height. Which again is really weird because we're used to thinking of height as a vertical thing, but when you have prisms like this, height doesn't have to be vertical. It just means the distance between the two bases. Okay. So our base is a triangle. It's just a triangle like this, and they do tell us that it's a right triangle. It's got a hypotenuse of 19 yards, and it's got a height of 15.2 yards. Okay. So in order to find capital B, we need to find the area of the base. Well, if our base is a triangle, we need to find the area of a triangle, which is 1/2 base times height. This is our base. It's got a height of 15.2, and the base of it, we don't know. We're going to use Pythagorean theorem again. B squared plus 15.2 squared is equal to 19 squared. So go ahead and do that and find B. And we're going to find that the base length of this is 11.4. All right, 11.4. So now we have enough information to find the area of the base, 1/2 base times height. So it's 1/2 the base of this triangle, 11.4, times the height of the triangle, 15.2. Sorry, I'm kind of running into my other box there. So 1/2 times 11.4 times 15.2. And the area of the base is 86.64 yards squared. And check our answer key. Yep. So volume is just this number times the height of the prism, so the distance between the two bases. So volume is just 86.64 times the height, which again, the height is the distance between the two prisms. You can see that also in the formula sheet. Height is the distance between the two. Yes, it's vertical, but it's really the distance between the two bases. It doesn't always have to be vertical. So we'll do that times 16. And let's see what we get for volume. We should get the volume is 1,386.24 yards cubed. Whew, these are doozies. Yeah, the triangular prisms and the square-based or triangular-based pyramids to me are always the most challenging. So that's why I wanted to have a video going through it for you guys. I know it's kind of a long video. For the last one, surface area. So it's the height. P stands for the perimeter of the base, okay? P stands for perimeter of base, So we're looking at our base, this triangle right here, 15.2, 11.4, and 19. So 15.2, 11.4, and 19, we're going to add those up and see what we get. So we're going to find that surface area is the height, or 16, times that perimeter. I added up 15.2, 11.4, and 16, and we get, that's where the 45.6 comes from, plus 2 times area of the base. We said the area of the base is 86.64. Okay, do a little bit of math. And our surface area is going to be 902.88 yards cubed. And that is how you find the surface area and volume of a pyramid and a triangular prism. Good luck!